Yeah, so it's been, God, about 8 months since I've done a video, and every time I've thought about making one, I've not been able. So I thought my first one back would be a get ready with me and explain where I've been. So in December, I was all set to, or it might have been the end of November, I was all set to do the Colin Pitchfork video. And at that point, he'd been out for 6 weeks. That's still in the way. He'd been out of prison for 6 weeks. Anyone who doesn't know who Colin Pitchfork is, he in 83 and 86, he murdered and strangled and raped 2 15-year-old girls in England, and he was sentenced to prison. And without getting into too much detail, he was sentenced, and then he appealed, that got lowered, and then he was eligible for parole again in 2016, I think. But he didn't get it. But the prison was releasing him on days so he could go shopping, get a little bit of independence. You know, he was jailed in 86, so the world has changed a lot since then. And you know, there's been rumours for years that he was going to get out, and then in November his parole was granted. Now, I'd been working on the video for a while, probably since about September, and like, I was already fuming about him getting out. I mean, this is a man who raped and murdered 2 kids, and the parole board in England thinks that this is a person who should be out. So he was out. I was still working on the video. I'd filmed the video and I'd put it up, but then I realised that the sound was really slow, so I thought I'll have to refilm it. And so I took it down, getting ready to refilm. Comes on, well, actually I get a DM on Twitter, because I've been very vocal about Colin Pitchfork for many years, and certainly since all the rumours of him getting out. And I got a DM about 11:30 at night saying, a news article saying he's been put back in jail. And I was like, oh my God, please do not tell me he's hurt another girl. So then, turns out, right, this is what happened. He was let out of prison on licence with 40 conditions. Now, usually when people have been in prison and then got out, when they're still on licence, on parole, there are stipulations in place. Could be curfew, could be you know, your address, could be weekly drug and alcohol tests, could be monitoring of your phone, living in a hostel, weekly sessions with some sort of key worker or psychologist or something. You know, the list goes on and on. But I have never known someone to get out with 40 stipulations on them. That to me says You're a risk to the public, and we're going to closely monitor you because we're scared. Luckily, you know, what was meant to happen happened. He was out for 6 weeks. His behaviour started getting weird. He started lying. So then the people who were in charge of him started following him because he was lying about where he was going. He was going on long walks. Turns out he was going on long walks to this park where a lot of young girls, young women went to run. And he was caught watching them, following them. We don't know the exact details, but straight away, he also had to do lie detectors, and they haven't released the information of what was asked, but I'm guessing he failed. So then he was put back in prison. Now, under probation rules, what's meant to happen is you get 28 days from the time you put back in to the time when your case is re-looked at and re-evaluated and the plan going forward put in place. So we got to the 28 days, and then I was thinking maybe it meant 28 working days. So got to the date of 28 working days. Still radio silence. The 2 girls we murdered in the 80s, one of the girls' sisters was on the telly saying, we haven't been told nothing, we don't know nothing. An MP in the House of Commons stood up and said, listen, the public have got a right to know what the hell is going on here, but the probation service is just zipped. Prison and probation service are not talking. We want answers now. So then, straight away, nothing happened, and he had to do it again. And then, all that we got told was that he's got a right to, he's going to stay in prison for now, but legally he's got a right to apply for parole again later this year, early next year. And it's like, why has it got to be that this man rapes and murders another girl before we give him a whole life sentence? Now, we have them in this country, we can give them. There are a few prisoners who are on whole life sentences, different from the IPP sentence. Ian Huntley, who murdered the Soham little girls in Soham, Holly and Jessica, he's on a whole life sentence. Martha Hindley was, Ian Brady was, the Greys were. We have got it, but it's just never being used. So we're going to have this whole palaver again in a few weeks. So anyway, I was waiting for the parole board to get back to the public to say what the hell is going on. So I held off on the Colin Pitchfork video, but then on Christmas Eve, which is, I think we should have heard back from the parole board about the 17th of December, and we hadn't. So then on Christmas Eve, obviously 24th of December, I went round to my nan's to help her make her bedding, change her beds, put all new bedding on and stuff. And she'd been fine that day. You know, she'd just got a new mirror hung, and you know, she was all good and that. And she started to feel really unwell, like she was coming down with a cold. And I was instantly concerned because she's 83, and I had some, what do you call them, the lateral flow tests. I'd just got a box, might have got 2 boxes actually, bought them in the chemist. So I came round to mine and took them back and done a test for her, and it came back that she had COVID, but she weren't too bad. Then by Christmas Day, she was so ill, so ill. Because I had a contact with her, I went into self-isolation for 10 days. I remember, like, yeah, it's just... So, me nan weren't getting better, and about a week later, she went into hospital. And she was there for 6 weeks. Really hit and miss. And then she came home in the February. She came home on a Wednesday. Within the first 7 days, she weren't herself. I knew she weren't. And then the Wednesday and the Thursday, I wanted to phone an ambulance, and I wish to God I had of, but I didn't. Went round on the Friday. She was really bad, and I knew she weren't right. Got her into hospital. Anyway, to cut a long story short, she died on the Wednesday the 2nd of March. It was Ash Wednesday, which I thought was quite nice. She's very, very Catholic, and you know, she would have liked that. So then I've just been dealing with that, helping sort the house out, and we buried her, and then about 2 weeks after that, my dad got sick. Not COVID, and he was in hospital for 3 weeks. But at this point, it was just too much for me. My head was completely gone. Luckily, he's home, and he is doing okay. And then the last 3 weeks or so, I've been dealing with I've been contacting fertility clinics and that to check my fertility out, because I had surgery in August for stage 4 endometriosis, and it was a 4-hour surgery. They had to take like one of my tubes weren't working. They had to take an ovary. Just a complete mess. And infertility for endometriosis is 30 to 50%. There's actually a petition going on at the moment in the House of Commons for women who have endometriosis, who go on to have the surgery, to be able to freeze their eggs, because they're aware that infertility is high. It's higher than chemotherapy for cancer. So I've been dealing with that, and then I've been dealing with trying to get further surgery on my mastectomy that is completely messed up. And to be honest with you, the last thing I felt like doing is researching and making videos and writing. In fact, most days all I've wanted to do is get into bed and cry, in all truthfulness, because I feel like, you know, there's only so much a person can take, and I feel like I'm at my peak. I really do. I feel like any minute now something else is going to happen, and it's going to be the thing that's going to break me. Whether that's true, you know, right or not, I don't know. It's hard. You know, we're in July now, and you know, for many years I always said, every year I'd say the same thing. Next year is going to be better. And I said it. December gone, I said it. And it's just been one shitstorm after the other. And it's bloody... it's hard. Really hard. And then... yeah, between life and health. But then I watched America's Got Talent, a clip on YouTube. I don't watch it. And it was of a young woman, I think she was about 29, called Night Birdie. And she sang an amazing song, and she was amazing. She had something like 2% chance of survival. She had cancer all the way through her body. And she even said 2% is still better than 0%. And I thought, wow, that's got to be the definition of optimism. And then she sang a song, and then she said something else afterwards, which was just as profound. And it was something like, you can't wait until life isn't hard anymore to choose to be happy. And you know, she's so right. Life's hard. It's hard for many different people for many different reasons, and in my mind everything's got to be perfect. You know, like YouTube, I keep waiting for things to be perfect until I come back and make a video, and you know, newsflash, it's never going to be perfect. There's always going to be something else happening, someone else dying, someone else getting sick, me getting sick, me needing more surgeries, me not being able to have kids. But I'm not the only one, you know. And I think to be a bit more objective when it comes to stuff like that helps. You know, I'm not the only woman who has been through breast cancer, or lost loved ones, or can't have kids. And that's okay. So I need to stop this perfection mindset, because it's an illusion. It doesn't exist. It's never going to be perfect. It never was perfect. But I'll survive the past, and I'll survive the future. But you know, I love researching. I love talking about research. Whether that's in an academic setting, whether I go on to, you know, go back and do some sort of course at uni or college or whatever, or whether it's researching and filming and uploading to YouTube. But one thing I did do, which I'm really proud of, a few weeks ago in Liverpool Sefton Park, apparently it's on every year, I've never heard of it, bracelets on. even think what it's called, but it's like an African music festival. And it's over a 2-day period. And you know, I went with a friend, one of my oldest friends, and I haven't been to something like that, certainly not sober. So it was like my first big time being out alone, being around people drinking, and that's just me straightness. So I was scared, but I took some just so I could look a bit normal, so that people didn't. When you're in recovery and you're drinking water, people always say to you, oh, why aren't you drinking? Why aren't you drinking? Don't you drink? You've never drank. And it's just questions you just don't need. So alcohol-free beer is perfect. 0.0% alcohol beer. I like Bud Blue because it tastes more like normal beer, and it's also in a normal glass bottle, so it just looks like you're having a beer, so no one's asking questions. But you know, I still made it known that I don't drink, because someone had brought wine and gin, and was saying, oh, and I was like, no, I don't drink. And then they were like, but you're drinking? And then you know, I'd be like, oh, it's alcohol free, I'm actually an alcoholic, I don't drink. And I stayed for about 4.5 hours, and it was good. It was really, really good. Weren't what I was expecting music wise, but I really enjoyed myself, and I think I needed it to build that confidence up, because being in recovery, touch wood, 9 years off the aisle, 10 years, and I'll be 10 years in September off the cocaine and all other drugs, and I'll be 9 years this October off alcohol. And I've kept my world so small. Like, I didn't even go to my nan's 80th. I didn't even go to my nan's 80th birthday because people were drinking and I was scared and I didn't trust myself. And you know, I done something else with her. I took her to see a play in the Royal Court, and you know, we still had a great time together, but I regret not being there for that, for the big 80th. Yeah. But like, over the years, you know, I've booked concert tickets and then last minute not gone. I lost money on them because I thought I'm going to be surrounded by people, and do you know what, it felt good being able to trust that I can do things that I want to do and that I used to do, and probably enjoy them better than I did when I was drinking. Oh god, bloody mess. But yeah, it's hard being in recovery. Anyway, this has just been a quick little catch up. I've got a busy day today. Gonna go and see my granddad. Well, his grave. I haven't been for a while. I've got him a little card. Yeah, then I'm gonna go and see my mate. She's having a bad time at the moment. And then later on, I'm gonna film a few videos and upload them. So hope this weren't too doom and gloomy. I know a lot of us have, certainly the last couple of years, you know, people, most of us have had real shitty times. We've lost a lot, and a lot of loved ones. I know that. So yeah, thank you. I'll see you in my next one. Oh, I also wanted to say thank you to any new subscribers. I think when I left, I don't know how many subscribers I was when I done my last video, but now I'm at 75, and I've watched it gradually go up, and I was expecting it to, you know, go down. And it hasn't, and I just want to thank those for subscribing, for watching videos, for waiting for new videos, and people's kind comments as well. So yeah, thank you, and I'll see you in my next one. Take care.